Welcome to another episode in our Paramedic Career Mode series. We are in one of my favorite times of the season as we get ready to play some representative football in the state of origin. So each season I'll be alternating between rep sides, and for this first season we'll be playing as Queensland. So our starting lineup is as follows. We've got Kalen Ponga, Corey Oates, Michael Morgan, Dane Gagai and Corey Thompson in our back five. In the halves we've got Cameron Munster and Daly Cherry Evans, who I have named captain. In the front row we've got Josh Papali, Jake Friend at hooker and Josh Maguire. In the back row we've got David Fafita, Matt Gillett and Jai Arrow, and finally on the bench we have Ben Hunt, Jason Bukuya, Josh Ofahengawe and Dylan Napa. Now I reckon it's a decent squad. There were a few players that I couldn't pick that I wanted in the squad. Felice Galfusi is one of them. For some reason he's unavailable to select in the first season. And as for the injured players, Cohen Hess was an injured player, I think Jared Wallace was an injured player. I still picked them in the 24-man squad because it doesn't say how long they're injured for, and I think a couple of them will be ready for game 2. As we check out this Blues squad, and it is pretty stacked. And as you can see, our 3 Eels players that got selected will actually be getting game time, which is pretty sick to see. First run of the game will be a Blues player by way of Josh Jackson as he takes the first hit up and he gets wrapped up beyond their 10. Pretty decent run to start the game, I guess. As they go wide to Cook, Cook links up with Alvaro and Alvaro with the bump breaks the line and he tries to get an offload away and they turn it over here. A critical error in the first moments of the game as they give a penalty away on top of that. Not how you want to start the first game of Origin, as Maguire takes our first run of the match and he gets absolutely destroyed there. As we try and run a switch play on the short side, Dane Gagai takes the tackle 10 meters out. As we shift it to Cherry Evans to Jai Arrow. And we've got a couple of sets to work with here to try and put something together. Instead it's Munster putting in the little grubber for himself on the third. Unexpected grubber to start things off as we score our first try of the game, and Cherry Evans will be taking the kicking duties. As we approach the 10-minute mark, we are back on the Ops 20. Munster off the scrum takes it to the line himself. As players set up to the right, we've got Cherry Evans here at first receiver, links up with Ponga and Ponga's taken in a pretty powerful tackle driven backwards back onto the 20. It's looking a little disjointed, a little clunky, and as a result, DCE's pass gets intercepted. It was one of those annoying floating passes as the Blues immediately look to go wide. Tedesco with the footwork ends up getting clipped in a high tackle and we give away our first penalty of the match. So after an error and a penalty, the Blues finally find themselves in the red zone as Matt Lodge goes on a pretty powerful run here. A little bit of post-contact meters made as he gets wrapped up just outside the 10. Fourth tackle with players in motion, the Blues look pretty good with ball in hand. We're going to pull them down 5 meters out from the line. Fifth and last, they just send it to Finucane and he just crashes his way to the try line. And as you can see on the replay, he grounds the ball for the Blues' first try of the match off the back of, much like our first try, off the back of an error and a penalty. 27 minutes into the game here and we've got the Blues in possession. Second tackle, Maloney looking to go wide, ends up hitting Wade Graham, a falcon for us as we tow it on the ground, tow it backwards just to be safe here as it gets scooped up by Kalen Ponga. That's another error for the Blues inside their own half as we jump to the fourth tackle with Cameron Munster looking to put someone through the gap. The ball ends up getting touched by a Blue and that resets the tackle count. Our attack though still isn't quite coming together how I'd like it to as we go out the back to Papali'i and he tries to drive his way over the line but he stopped just before it. We have a decent setup to the right here as Munster throws a nice ball to Gillett to Gagai and all we had to do was hold on to it but we got caught spamming the pass button to the wing. Gagai was through. Back on the fourth as Cherry Evans spots a gap, puts it on the toe and scores our second try of the game. Man, there was a massive gap around the ruck. One of the Blues defenders got caught drifting way too wide. I already had the kick option in my head ready to go, and it kind of worked out as that Blues defender, like I was saying, was just drifting way too wide on the try line. Kind of opened up a huge gap for us as Cherry Evans converts his own try, and we're going to head into the break with a 6-point lead. We're about a minute 20 into the second half here, and it's going to be Papa Li'i taking a hit up for us, getting wrapped up just past our 20. On the second, as Cameron Munster gets hammered in the tackle, it's dropped on the spot. We quickly shift it to Gagai, a beautiful cutback inside, and he gets around Tedesco at the back. A beautiful line ran by Dane Gagai. The acceleration on the initial break, blistering speed by Gagai on display, separated himself from the Blues defenders as he scores our third try of the game. Looking at it on the replay, one of the Blues defenders again was drifting way too wide. That pretty much opened it up for Gagai to burst through the gap. A pretty explosive start to the second half as we return the ball here with Dylan Napa. On the first, we got Cherry Evans to the right. Looks like Jason Bukuya running an unders line, and Bukuya is going to run into a brick wall, coughs it up in contact. What a hit by the Blues. And speaking of explosive, the big hits by the Blues on defense, man, it's been non-stop, and that one came in clutch for them as they get a full set to work with inside our 20. Second tackle, Alvaro wrapped up. They go short to Finucane, and Finucane just tries to crash his way over the line once again. But this time I think you'll find that he does get flipped on his back. And as you can see here on the replay, no try. Finucane does get held up. On the third this time, they're still attacking our line here as they decide to shift it wide, and Finucane once again trying to power his way over. Can he get it down? Looks like Finucane's been the go-to for them, but as you can see, three Maroons players wrap him up, turn him over on his back once again. Fifth and last for the Blues, they go to Maloney. This time Maloney puts up a bomb to our left edge, gets battered back. Kalen Ponga trying to get out of it here, manages to make it out, and that's where we're going to wrap the game up on the back of that pretty strong defensive set. The rest of the match was pretty much a stalemate, just a lot of hit-ups back and forth, and we end up grinding out the win full time, 16 points to 6. We defeat the Blues here at Suncorp Stadium in Game 1 of the State of Origin. Nothing much else to say in the outro, seeing as we're playing as a completely different team. If you made it this far into the video, hit up that comment section with the hashtag OddSquad. As always, slap that like button for more Rugby League Live 4 content, or more content in general. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later.
Put me on the mark, no chill. I wanna be like Marvel Schofield, not Jordan, not Jackson. Get in my town with the accent. I'm back in, I'm better. Stay strapping, Montana. Never gonna fold under pressure, nah. I was on the M1 doing 180 in a high luck. Say, come get me that same shit.